Hello, Kriksis here, and welcome to this week's video. This week I will be the talking head. I will talk with you, but you can do your own things on the background if you want. I'm gonna talk about my experience of completing Inktober. I'm gonna share a lot of details and bits and bobs and like how I decided to do it, what do I think about it, and yeah, let's just jump straight to it. Yeah, so I never done Inktober before, and there are two reasons, I think. One reason is I felt October was always quite busy for me because before I was studying, and where I felt Septembers were quite slow, like Octobers were the month where suddenly everything started to picking up and you had like already idea you needed to work even faster and more. So yeah, I guess that's why I didn't thought about it. And the second reason is also I haven't been like that active on social media before last year, I think, because well, there are several reasons, but yeah, basically I wasn't like the best social person. I was super shy. I didn't want to share my own things and I didn't have confidence, so I just didn't like Inktober just never crossed my mind. I always felt that it's more like for people who are posting online and so on. And because this year I'm trying to be more active on social media and go outside of my comfort zone, I decided to give it a go. But yeah, so that those are the reasons why I didn't do it before. I also heard like some negative things and like positive things as well. I guess like one of the things I was really scared of was that I will be rushing my artworks and not spending enough time on each piece and like following somewhat algorithms and like posting for other people pleasure and so on. So I was just trying to distance myself from those things, and I try to approach this as my own personal project and as if this would be present to myself. At the Inktober I decided to participate is called Russian Witches Inktober. And why I decided to do Russian witches like out of nowhere, it's because it was created by 7 Russian artists, and one of those artists is my friend. And like actually I didn't meant to participate, but then I was like, oh, maybe I should like support my friend and do it. And then it kind of was like more okay, I'm gonna do it. So I think I remember I had like one video where I had this cozy chat with you where I said my life updates and what I'm going to do in the future. I think I mentioned that I may do Inktober, and if I will do it, I will try to do everything because when I'm promising something, I'm trying to do it. So yeah, I think even in that moment, I was like, will I do it? I guess I will. So that was like the first thing. So I knew before like big challenges or big things or big projects, long-term projects, I need to have a plan. It's also like with picture books, with everything. So like actually also like for small projects, I just love planning. But especially for big ones, I think it's really important. And how I did my planning was mostly I wrote down like things I want to explore. And because it's like 31-day challenge, I wanted to do something I am comfortable with, and I also wanted to do something I'm completely unfamiliar. So like having these prompts, which are from Russian history, Russian folk tales, some of the words I didn't know even existed, that was like kind of challenging. But I thought, okay, what could be also challenging of like different media and so on. So there I crossed my like there I remembered in the summer I bought pastel papers from Jackson's. So I bought like these I'm gonna zoom in these ones. So I bought basically like samples of different kind of pastel papers because I have no idea like which pastel paper is better or worse. So I bought non-sanded papers and I bought sanded pastel papers. And I remember I did like one artwork with fox on pastel paper, and it worked really well. And because the paper had like this texture with grittiness, so I could apply like thick media underneath, and then I can grab a pencil and add top layer, and it would be like with this beautiful texture. So that's how I bought these papers, but I didn't thought they will be for Inktober until I started planning what I will do for Inktober. So then I came back to these papers, and what I decided to do, I took, so I think like all of those papers came in like random sizes, so they were like this big, and what I did, I cut it in half and then in half again, so 1/4 is like the paper size I used. And like, why this paper size? It's because I knew I'm quite slow, and if I will have smaller format, I will do the artwork quicker. So it's quite logical, I guess. So it's A6 size, and I cut all of those papers. And what I also did, because it's Instagram, like usually you think, okay, if it's Inktober and people are posting on Instagram, it should be square. But I was like, no, actually, I want to break the rules and I want to make like this size, like this vertical format, because it's not squares, but I just like this size. And then I thought, okay, I never tried pastel papers, so that was like, okay, I'm gonna do it in pastel papers. I also never tried a lot of illustrations in colored papers, so all the pastel papers I had were ranging from dark gray till like sand colors and like these neutral tones. So I spread them all out. And I decided, because it's Instagram, there are 3 posts in one like level. So I thought 3 of the same color, next 3 of the next color, next 3 of the next color. I don't know if it makes any sense. So I'm gonna show a little bit how I am thinking about it. So basically, first 3 prompts are on this kind of paper, and the next 3 prompts are on a little bit darker. A little bit darker paper, and the next 3 are even on more darker. So it's making kind of gradient as I go in the month, and like every 3 days is like different kind of paper. So that was like my idea. And another thing is, as I told, I wanted to go outside of comfort zone, but I also wanted to stay in comfort zone in some aspects. So I decided to take each prompt and add my characters into them. So if it's like prompt about like somewhat building, I needed to include the character somewhere. Either it's like sitting somewhere in the backyard, or is it like sitting on the roof, anything like that, but it should be included in the scene. So that was like easier but also harder at the same time, because I remember some prompts I did, it was more challenging to include person instead of just doing the object which the prompt was all about. So this is like kind of the beginning of my Inktober. I just did a lot of planning. Another thing which, I don't know, I guess not a lot of people are doing it, but what I do, I am like doing small sketches beforehand. So I remember on day 1, I already had 1 day before my plans for the prompt, so I don't need to stress out. And I'm sometimes quite anxious person, so I decided to be 1 day ahead. So if it's day 6, I would create prompt for day 7 and post on Instagram day 6. So I was always 1 day ahead. I think I had like 2 or 3 days where I was doing the same prompt in the same day. But other than that, I was 1 or 2. I think one point in this challenge I was 3 days ahead. And I also felt like being a little bit more ahead was helping me, because there were some days where I was busy either editing videos or filming videos, or I was busy making picture book, or going outside and taking break on Sundays. So yeah, I think that's how I did all the prompts, to be honest, because I think if I had to do it at the same time, I'm not sure if I would do every single one. But yeah, because I was a little bit ahead, it helped me a lot. And also, like, of course, I had like a lot of failures. I have some prompts I just really don't like. And I remember I did them in the other day, and when it was time to post something, I just didn't like personally how it looked. So I decided to remake the image completely. There was one also pastel paper which I didn't like. It was like a velvet material pastel paper, and I tried to add markers on top and it didn't work out, so it was like becoming super blurry and stiff. It was so hard to control the materials, so I took out all of these kind of velvety papers out of my collection and remade them. I also did, and yeah, so these are 4 images I just didn't like, and I didn't post them, and I remade them completely. Although I'm super ashamed of them and I don't like them, I just want you to see that not everything is like as perfect as it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna share all of the prompts I did, and this will be a long video, so take your tea. You will see a little bit of me talking, a little bit of the illustrations I did, and I'm gonna explain them a little bit. I used a lot of acrylic paint markers for these Inktober pieces, and I found it's like quick media to work with, so as I'm growing my acrylic marker collection, I just find like, yeah, this is like working, so I used it a lot. And the first prompt was called Grey Wolf, and the Grey Wolf is actually like the kid with this wolf costume. So I'm combining characters, as I said before, and the prompt. And I felt like this could be like really shy person, like sitting near the candlelight and just reading a book. It's quite simple, like a prompt, I would say. But I really like the result. I still feel the first piece was quite strong. And as we go, I will tell like which pieces I'm like not so sure about. But this was like really nice. The next piece, the prompt was called Over the Other Side of the River, and as I understand, it was like Russian book or something, but as I haven't read it, I just took the prompt super literally, and I wanted to create like this girl looking over the other side of the river, and then you see like the surprise, and there's a fox, and if you look into the details, the girl is like holding a basket and it's full of carrots. So I kind of like wanted to make like this story that it's like early morning and she just picked up the harvest and she's like looking like and like kind of enjoying the nature, and then there is like fox. And the next piece is Karelia. Karelia is like a region in Russia. It's really close to Finland border. It's full of beautiful lakes and forests, and there are like these small churches and like a lot of wooden houses. This was the end result. I like it a lot. I did a small mistake here, but I don't mind that mistake. It's kind of because all of my illustrations I wanted to them be in this oval shape, and this is not completely oval, but yeah. I think it's still okay. Okay, so the next one, it's the Frog Princess, and it's the prompt my friend Vera made, and I tried to like go outside of comfort zone and do something a little bit different. I actually never done it like for rest of my characters, but I decided to do like a motif. Yeah, I really like the water. I like how the feet is looking inside the water. And the textures are done with pencils. The next piece is shapeshifting. And this was really hard prompt, because shape shifting is like, it could be anything but nothing at the same time, because I don't know, sometimes like some days I just knew what I want to do and some days I just had no idea what to do, and this was one of those days. So I was thinking a lot, and then I think when I think of shape shifting, I think of like Harry Potter and polyjuice potion. So I decided to do like kind of potion which you can drink and turn into an animal. So in this case, a fox, because I really like foxes. So I thought this could be like potion for turning into foxes. Then it's magpies by its side, and I really like this illustration I did. It kind of looks like mini postcard. I would want to send it to someone and so on. So I like the proportions of this magpie and the girl. So yeah, I think the character in this case is working really well with the prompt. The next one is, I don't like this prompt at all. Like, not the prompt, I don't like my illustration. And like, I did my failed attempt. I didn't like how this one looked, so I just started anew. And then I did this one. I think I changed the background like 5 or 6 times, and I just didn't like it every single time. So in the end, I was like, I don't have enough time. I'm just gonna put it, because it's about the process, and you cannot have every single piece you like. So this is just the piece I don't personally like. Maybe someone is finding this interesting, but so there's always like pieces like that you just don't connect to or don't like at all. And the next piece is called Black as a Raven. And I actually thought I need to draw a raven, but then my friend explained to me that Black as a Raven is like a calling for super black horses in Russia. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw a horse, because I don't draw horses normally. So I did draw a horse with a girl. I kind of enjoyed this one, to be honest. I was scared at first because I wanted to do horses, but I wasn't sure how I will do it in my style, because I usually don't draw animals that much. So I think this is kind of okay. Okay, the next is Wildwood. So I just did like mini forest scene with this girl, and she is picking mushrooms. So this is like mini illustration. And the next piece is Butter of Life. This was actually also really tricky. This is like super freestyle, and I'm not sure if I like it. I guess I did it because I thought, okay, I did like the shape-shifting bottle. I kind of liked it, and I was running out of ideas for this prompt, so I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna take the bottle, I'm just gonna put the character inside, I'm just gonna put water in, and then I will see what will happen. So, well, here you have it. Oh, and after that, the next prompt, it's called Inception. I was having so hard time to think of this prompt, but I was like, no, I'm just gonna take it aside and come back later. And I came back later and just suddenly had like this idea, like to make matryoshkas. So matryoshkas are like these dolls, which like there's a big doll, you open it, there's a little bit smaller one, you open it, there's like even smaller one, you open it, and it's even smaller one. So I decided to do Inception of these matryoshkas dolls. And this is like one of my favorite pieces. And like, it's so funny because I was struggling a lot, and then it suddenly like clicked and it was like my favorite one. So yeah, this is like really strange. Okay, and after Inception, I had like another piece which I call one of my favorites. So this is mummers. And mummers are like, I don't know if it's in every country. Like in Latvia, we also celebrate mummers in a way. It's like Halloween, but not really. So people dress up, but like with like these super creative ways. So they kind of put jacket on top of head, put like horns from, I don't know, like I don't know, pens, and like they're like a deer or something. So I actually remember this costume with this bird, and I really want to recreate this costume at some moment in my life. I really like this costume idea. So I just did like this kind of my attempt to this costume. So then it's Seraphim dress, and I felt will be super easy prompt, but I did like this first attempt, my mistake on this paper, which I don't like that well, and then I did like this illustration, I didn't like it as well, and then I did this one, and I kind of liked it. So I did 3 entries for one, and I just decided to use this one as a final. I'm gonna open the window because it is so dark now, and I'm not sure if you will see me. So then it was also another illustration named Pogost, and it's really hard to translate it, I guess, from Russia to English. So when I translated to Latvian, it was like a district, but later on I learned that it's like a place where there's like church and graveyard next to it, and I decided to draw like this girl sitting on top of the church roof and looking at the pigeon. So it was kind of random, I guess, but I wanted to not feel pressured. I wanted to just go with it, and have like some fun in the process. So that's why there's like a pigeon. So the next prompt is Cuckoo's Funeral, and I went back to my childhood in a way, because I remember when I was smaller, I found dead pigeon, like kind of half dead pigeon in between 2 houses, and I decided to save the bird and like help him, but it didn't work out, so he died, and I just felt I need to draw like this guy with the dead birds. Okay, the next one is called Crossroads. Also was kind of like I feel if I will participate in Inktober next year, I will do my own prompts, because some of these words were super challenging to me, and that is like one of the things I was struggling with. But at the same time, I was happy because I was going outside of comfort zone, and the prompts just led me to somewhere I have never been before. And so, yeah, I have mixed feelings, but some of those prompts are like super like Inception or Crossroads, it's like, or Water of Life. It's like super abstract idea, and like for example in Peachtober, if you know like Furry Little Peach, she did her own prompts, and all of the prompts were like cloud, hand, everything like visual. So when it comes to like something you don't visualize, it's a little bit harder. The day 16 is called Crossroads, and I decided to make like this what is the name of this? So this is a compass I did for day 16, and I decided to point these 2 arrows, which one arrow is north and one arrow is south, and make them like as a characters. So the north, like it's like a boy, and south is girl. Day 17 it's Kumushka, and I actually didn't know what is Kumushka, and I translated it, and I think I asked my friend, and Kumushka is like a gossip or something like that. So this is like super simple picture. It's brother and sister, and they're like gossiping about something. So that's it. This is like super simple, I guess. Then it's Well, and I actually like this picture a lot, because it's not only character and like the prompt, but also like the surroundings. So it's like a girl, and she is looking into the water, and the well is behind. So I like how this turned out. Okay, so then we have Sirin, and I was actually super excited for Sirin, until I started doing it, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I guess this is not like my best artwork, but it's like the siren, it's a woman with bird's body. Okay, then it's mossy. When there is prompt mossy, I think of like forest, and I thought, okay, then there's there's guy sitting on the branch with moss around, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do something like super random, so I drew geese next to the boy. I have no idea why actually, but yeah, so there's like a guy with geese, and it's mossy around. So this is this prompt. And then it's mushrooms, and I had the idea to do like this mushroom hat, which is like super popular thing, but then I was like, no, I already did it. When I did sketchbook for pit supplies, I did mushroom costumes before, so I decided to give like mushroom costume another go, and I decided to make like this I don't know, like interesting shaped costume, and the head is not actually the mushroom head, but it's the body that is mushroom head. So yeah. I kind of like it. It's super silly drawing, I think. Then it's at this point I just wanted to make a lot of costumes, a lot of like dressing ups, a lot of carnival pieces. So this is another one. This is like a moon star costume, and the amulet is the prompt for that day, and the amulet is just like a star up there, but her whole costume is like with a lot of details and like stars and moons and so on. So then the next one is rot, and this was really hard as well, and I just went, okay, I'm gonna make another costume. So I decided to make a rotten apple costume for Halloween. It's like a rotten apple as like a body, and yeah, so I don't know, this is just like super random and super like just in one go. Okay, then we have Domovoy. And Domovoy, it's like a troll, but in Russia it's like mini guy who is like cleaning the house, as I understand. I actually didn't know this word before, so I did first time this one and I didn't like it. So I decided to take this character and put him in like a costume for a guy. So I like this one much better. Then we have Mavka, which is also a word I didn't know at all. And Mavka is basically like a mermaid, like a lady with green hair. So yeah, I just did like super quick, I guess, illustration with lady and green hair and so on. So okay, then we have Izba. And Izba is actually a house made of wooden logs. And we have them in Latvia as well. I wanted to do this house, but I also needed to put characters somewhere. So what I decided is to put like characters sitting on the bench and looking at the house. I don't know. This is how it turned out. Then we have the reaping, and the reaping is like kind of like picking up the harvest, as I understand. And there's like this tool which you can use for taking up like the seeds and like everything like from the fields. I decided to make another mummer's costume. So this is like death with this instrument which you use for the reaping. So this is also like, I don't know, I have mixed feelings. I kind of like it. It's just like super different as I usually do my illustrations. Then we have Nocturnal, and I was super excited for this prompt because I already knew, even before I started this Inktober, I think this is like the only one which I was like absolutely sure I will do it. So this is a girl with moth costume. I want to make this girl with moth costume as enamel pin, and I never done enamel pins in my life, and I am super scared because I need to order huge quantity, like 100 pieces of them, But I think I'm ready. Like, what do you think? Should I like make an enamel pin? Would you like something like that? I'm gonna share the last three. So there is Witch World. So I decided to draw a witch, and I really like this hat with the like feathers. Then we have roots, and I wanted to do carrot roots because I was looking at my color palette for Inktober, and this is like the colors I was using, so I decided to put them in one place. So the last is initiation, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's tricky. I wanted the last one to be kind of meaningful, and I felt like this girl peeking through the door and like kind of holding to the door would be the perfect illustration to end this challenge. And it's actually, I think, one of my favorites. I really like it. It's super simple. I just like the movement and like the kind of mystery behind the door, because we cannot see what's behind. So yeah, here you have it. All the 31-day challenge. I really like most of my illustrations. I have some of them which I like absolutely don't like, but I'm also happy to share them because it's all about the process, and like you cannot physically have all the success, you know? So there will be always something you don't like, and you just need to accept it. I really wanted to do something before Christmas. Like when I finished this Inktober, I was like, yeah, like here's the material. I can use these illustrations for my shop update. So I actually decided to do Inktober zine, and I already like I'm filming it on Friday. I already ordered the zine. I spent 2 days putting everything together, and it will be 28 pages Inktober zine in A6 size, basically the size I'm originally drawing these illustrations. I am super excited. So in these 28 pages, I am going to show all the materials I used, exactly like which name, which brand, which art supply. I'm showing some color combinations, my thoughts. I'm gonna also share all the 31 illustration in one spread, how it looks together, because it's kind of like collage effect. So, and then I'm gonna show some of the spreads just like fully these illustrations, but I'm gonna pick my favorites. So yeah, this is like super exciting. So I will have Inktober zine. I'm not sure when I will upload it, because there is possibility I will travel to Latvia at the end of this month, when the lockdown in my country will end. And if so, then I will do this like as a pre-order, and you could order before, but I will send the zine out in the second week of December or something like that. So another thing, I decided to do stickers from these Inktober pieces, and I have printer at home. It's not the best printer, but it's quite good. And I also bought sticker paper, and I decided to print stickers there, and it's actually not that bad. So I don't have like cutting machines, so I decided my stickers to be quite simple, like in like a rectangle size. So this is like, for example, one sticker sheet, and there was 16 inside, and I decided to cut them. And basically there are like these small stickers, 2 inches by 2.8 or 5 centimeters by 7 centimeters. So for example, if you want to have like specific stickers from specific days, you can write me numbers and I will take them and put them in one like sticker pack. I think I'm now gonna do like mini recap about the Inktober, and then I'm gonna check my community tab and see if you have any questions about Inktober. So basically, the positive things, I think it was challenging, but I accept this as a positive thing, because this is like helping me to push further and try new things and experiment. I think I have mostly positive things about this. I think the only negative thing, as I said before, is that the time limit and pressure of it to make something good at quick pace. Other than that, I really like to come up with the ideas. I am accepting that I don't like all the artworks. I think next year I might create my own Inktober. I think what I didn't like is that some of the themes were super vague, or they were like super Russian inspired, and I felt I wanted to make something more personal to myself. So at the end of I think in the middle of this challenge, I was like, I'm gonna make this more personal to myself, because a lot of those themes I wasn't familiar with, and I felt it's okay. You know, you like, if you are not from that country, you don't know everything, and that's totally fine. So I wasn't trying to fit into somewhere. I was trying to make it my own, and I really enjoyed making those costume characters and integrate my own characters into like different themes and interpret the prompts in my own way. Let's check my community tab. Some days ago, I decided to post a community tab, and I wrote, if you have some questions, you can ask them. And I think I will use community tab more often in the future. So if I will have some thoughts, or if you want to say something, you can always use community tab to chat with me. Udeshi is asking, hello Christian, I would love to know how you created the story for each prompt. And the illustrations are lovely and they look like a page of picture book. Thank you so much. I don't know, this is like as I mentioned before, some of the prompts, it was really hard to come up with the idea, and what helped to me is to step back from the work and come back after some time and think about it again. For other prompts, it just clicked like that. I guess the more familiar you are with the theme, the easier it is to come up with the idea. If it's like something completely different, then it's harder. So if by any chance I didn't come up with the idea the day before, I could always try to work the same day I need to post the picture. Yeah, I hope this answered your question. I think also what helped to me and make it look like a picture book is adding characters into each of those prompts. Because if it was just like the prompt, it sometimes could look like a poster or something. Then I have also another comment from the Goth Garden, and the comment is, these illustrations are amazing. Thank you so much. Congrats. Here's my questions. Do you have advice about how successfully create stories of work and the process that you take to decide on color schemes, materials to use? Yeah, so for me, I think what helped was to plan before. I had these pastel papers which I was going to use, and I knew some colors in the beginning which I will use, and I think I gradually added a little bit more. Yeah, so every time I created, I had this mini paper with mini color swatches I'm usually using for the prompts. So whenever I didn't felt like something is right, I was always like taking this and like, oh yeah, I didn't use the color from this one. So I was always trying to use only these colors. I think in the beginning I had a little bit less, and then at some point I added a little bit more colors. But then, like in last days, I was just going back to the colors I used before and sticking with that. Also, is there something you learned and would do differently if you started the series over again? Yes and no. I think if I will do Inktober again, I will definitely do planning before. I think I will also do one day before challenge differently. What could I do differently? I guess I would make my own prompts. I don't know. I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I'm not like completely like regretting something. I think everything was like, even something I didn't like, I was like, okay, this is like part of it, you know? So, yeah. If you made this far, write in the comments that you made this far, because this is like super long video, so you're like true fan if you're watching this far. And I also want to say thank you so much for supporting me and watching my videos and commenting and liking and subscribing. I just reached 1 1,000 subscribers, which is like I didn't thought it will happen so fast, so thank you so much. I hope this is like great company for you while you're creating. I will give an update on when my Etsy store will be updated. I will probably make community tab post again, so keep an eye on my community tab. Comment down below, have you participated in Inktober before? Also, like, should I do enamel pins? What do you think? It's like a big risk, but I'm like, I would love to do it, so I'm just like in between now. Should I do it? Should I not? I will see you next week for super massive, huge art supply video where I'm like opening my newest art supplies. I'm gonna swatch them, so this will be like super massive video, so keep an eye for that. Okay, have a good evening, morning, wherever you are, and see you next time. Okay, bye.